Without a question, the biggest dream of every single Shiba Inu owner is that the token hits $1 or more, depending on how you look at it. Well, it looks like we've finally found the thing that will make that dream come true. To find out what I mean, you'll have to keep watching this video. Disclaimer starting right away. Analysts say that SHIB seems to be right where it needs to be launched into the price range that its owners have been waiting for. And this is related to shibarium in some way. If you've been a SHIB holder for a while, you know about shibarium and how important it is to the Shiba Inu environment. If you're new, you can find everything you need to know in the lessons that came before. But for now, all you need to know is that shibarium is meant to make it faster and easier to buy and sell sheep and also help you burn sheep tokens. Thanks to the shibarium beta, we have an idea of how well shibarium will work at making it faster and easier to buy and sell dogs. PuppyNet. Since it started, PuppyNet has been able to finish millions of transactions, and each of those transactions only took a few seconds to finish. Millions of wallets are also on that site, which shows how excited people are for shibarium to come out. We don't know how well shibarium will be able to burn sheep, though, because PuppyNet doesn't have a way to tell. But if we look at how well puppies have done in other places, it might be safe to say that the real shibarium would be a good place for them. It might be safe to assume that sheep could also be burned in the real shibarium. If this happens, the release of shibarium could be a turning point for sheep, and I'm not the only one who thinks this. Watcher Guru says that, just like the world is split into C and D to show different times, Shiba Inu could be split into before and after shibarium. Through repeated burns, the Layer 2 network wants to get rid of the last 4 or 5 zeros. Shibarium might be a fire mill that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week and takes tokens out of circulation. And this is possible because of how sheep are supposed to be burned in shibarium. The sheep team says that shibarium was built with a feature that burns tokens every time a trade is made on it. So instead of sending tokens to a burn wallet on purpose, all people have to do is make a normal trade on shibarium, and it will automatically burn sheep. Also, the fact that there have already been millions of transactions on Dognet seems to show that there will also be a lot of transactions on shibarium. Now, there would be a lot of burns if there were a lot of deals on shibarium. And if there are a lot of fires, sheep prices would go through the roof. With the release of shibarium, things could really change in a good way for sheep. I'm looking forward to that change. And if recent events are any indication, it seems that I'm not the only one who can't wait for things to change. Even though the 10-cent stream is still going strong. Even after the recent drop, the price of sheep is nowhere near that dream. But neither the price nor the dip is enough to stop whales. Instead, they see it as a chance to get a lot more sheep coins than they would normally. They are buying on the downturn. One whale in particular seems to have been on a buying spree last week, since they made a lot of trades. This whale recently bought more than 200 million sheep tokens worth about $2.2 million. It is the 5th biggest sheep whale. And that was done all at once. The whale had bought more than 58 million sheep tokens before this buy. And with their most recent buy, this whale is very close to being a Shiba Inu billionaire, which could be the plan. Also, I saw on Coin Edition that wallets with balances of 1 million to 10 million sheep sold 500 billion sheep worth $5 million for a short time in late March before going back to their plan of building up their balances. Farm sentiment analysis shows that this group, along with those who own 100 million sheep and 101 billion sheep, handle about 67% of the total sheep supply. So, first of all, whales are back to buying a lot of shares and getting a lot of sheep. Even though these whales are taking advantage of the price drop, it's interesting that their purchases could help pull sheep out of a price slump. Second, it says that people with between 1 million and 1 billion sheep control 67% of the total supply of sheep. This is scary because if just a few of them decide to pull out their tokens, it could be very bad for sheep. Analysts say, though, that Shiba Inu seems to be showing signs that it might be getting better. But before we get to that, this station gives away 100,000 sheep every day to anyone who wants to take part. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a message below. #Shiba Inu. Best of luck. Shiba's price has gone up a little bit in the last 24 hours, which could mean that it will go down again soon. As is often the case, the behavior of SHIB whales will have a big impact on how the price of SHIB moves in the future, and investors will be watching closely to see if they keep buying more tokens or start selling the ones they already have. Now, this should serve as a reminder that you also need to do your own study. Even though whales have been buying the dip, that doesn't mean you should do the same thing. It also doesn't mean you shouldn't. Make sure that any choice you make is based on study, because I don't give advice about money on this channel. If you thought this was really helpful, please leave a review and tell your friends about this video. It really helps with YouTube's algorithm, which makes it easier for me to keep making better movies. Just one more thing. Being a sheep billionaire is now a lot easier. We just talked about sheep whales and how they control more than 60% of the sheep supply. Well, you can now become a sheep billionaire with just $10,000 if you want to be one of those people. But you should know that you can only get this for a short time. So, if you want to join in, you'd have to act quickly after doing your study. Also, I should say that this is how Watcher Teacher wrote it. The Shiba Inu billionaire is only judged by how many tokens they have, not how much money they have made. But if the markets get better in the next few years and start a bull run, the two might happen at the same time. At some point, the tokens could be turned into dollars, since the investors' bets usually pay off in the end. How is it possible to make $1 billion from sheep with only $10,000? Well, it's because the price dropped, and luckily, sheep got an extra zero when the price dropped recently. Sheep has been in this precarious position for a while, going back and forth between adding and dropping a zero. We hope that the ticket will also get past that spot. On the other hand, the extra zero means that you can get 1 million sheep tokens with just $10. Yep, you can call yourself a sheep millionaire with just a few dollars. This means that if you spend $100, you can get 10 million coins. You can get 100 million tokens if you spend $1,000. 1 million coins can be bought with $10,000, etc. Like I said before, this is only offered for a short time. In fact, this is the lowest price for SHIB since the year 2023 began. Once things get back to normal, possibly because of all the sheep whale purchases, sheep won't be that cheap anymore. So, if you've been thinking about buying more sheep or getting sheep for the first time, this is your chance. Still, I want to be clear that this is not business advice. Make sure to find out things on your own. We've reached the end of this movie. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a message in the section for comments. This helps me a lot with how YouTube works. Also, please let as many people as possible know about this movie. Let's tell everyone about this.